Sparks. Jim, it says here you're a Democrat. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
I'd like to give you an award if I had one, man, for being the only one that's got enough hair to call me.
Well, I was just wanting to say I think it's not fair to divide us up that just by label, because the name Democrat and what Democrat stood for as far as JFK and the way it was explained to me by my father and my grandfather. I know you don't like unions, but we're all union guys. I think those ideals have been hijacked, and the name, Democrat. It's not really a Democratic Party anymore.
You're actually smarter than I thought you might be. That's exactly the point I wanted you to make. I stand corrected, my friend, because you know what I should be calling these people? Progressives is what I ought to be calling them. And I've never met a Democrat, a true Democrat like you, Jim. Sounds like you and your family go back generations, right?
Yes.
And JFK, let me tell you something. I voted for JFK, okay? I know what you're talking about. I'm a former union member, 2 unions as a matter of fact. And I know what you're talking about. And you're right. I stand corrected. This is why I can't figure it out, because I thought they were really Democrats, but they're not. They're progressives. And some of them might even be, shall we use the C word? No, let's just use the progressive word. So, Jim, I want to apologize to you on the air for lumping all of you Democrats in together. I should not have done that, should I?
Well, it's easy to do either way. I mean, it cuts both ways. The Republicans, you have people like Susan Collins voting for Elena Kagan, who's...
Oh, yes, we could go down the list, couldn't we?
So, I mean, it cuts both ways. I think it's more about, with the organizations we have today, people are just, writing their own salaries.
Are you a conservative guy? Can I ask you that?
I am a conservative in the sense that I believe in sovereignty of our borders.
Yeah.
And the Second Amendment right to own and bear firearms, not for hunting, to protect myself from the government overreaching.
Dude, I understand why you're a Democrat, because you're going way back to when the Democrat Party meant something.
Well, I think it could be said for both parties. It seems to me that all the incumbents need to go, and I think the general voting public, regardless of your party, we really should focus on something like term limits.
Do you accept my apology?
Of course, absolutely.
You know what? If I drank beer right now, which I don't, but I would buy you a beer tonight.
Well, Guinness is my favorite. But anyways,
Okay, well, listen, go have one on me, okay?
Thanks, Bill, and thanks for coming down on the mayor of Sparks and Reno for blindly supporting Harry Reid. I liked that interview you did with him, so appreciate that.
Well, I'm glad you did, because they didn't, that's for sure. That's Jim and Sparks. I don't think you'll be voting for Mayor Martini, do you? Yeah. Well, so, now that I stand corrected, now maybe we can make some headway. Let's put it this way, ladies and gentlemen. There are Democrats, such as our friend Jim there, who actually agree with some Republicans. Or shall we say, some conservatives, as opposed to some liberals and progressives. Because Jim is right. The progressives have hijacked the Democrat Party. And both of these parties have been flailing out of control. Don't just blame the Democrats for overspending, because George Bush started it, didn't he? Way back when? I'm talking Daddy Bush. And isn't there something wrong with a country like ours, where we elect these family people? Where they come up with these children and, daddy is the president, and the child's the president, and the grandchild's the president? Is that what you want for your country? The Founding Fathers allowed for anyone to run for office. And you birthers, he allowed for Barack Obama or anybody else who you don't think has a birth certificate to run for office. What they didn't want was for ignoramuses to vote for him. And they gave us enough freedom and liberty to hang ourselves. You have the power.